see if I can find a put debit spread position.
VWAC and hello YouTube. We are live with Bullish Bears. We got our friends here. I'm Stone. Jeremy's riding with us today. Usually I ride with him, but he is riding with us, and we're just gonna have a good old time today, figuring out what the stock market's doing what we do every day, trying to figure out how to take over the world. Anyway, well, sort of our worlds at least, and we got a few stocks we're watching this morning. We've got our SPY, we got our MAS, got a penny stock just walked down from its high. SOPA, or PEGY, PEGY, Pineapple Energy, might hit these higher levels here shortly. We're going to see. We're going to keep an eye on it. And SOPA not doing much of anything.
Watching Amazon to hold $100 for support and bounce.
I'm watching Amazon too. There goes SOPA. Let's see how he does. It does. There we go. We got our 20 crossing over our 8 there. My.
NWTN just set up a retracement on that descending channel into the pre-market there. Just about to hit its target at about 229.
The NWTN. Let's go pull that one up over here since SOPA's not doing much at all.
I'm going to watch that for a setup later on, or possibly a trend.
That's slow. Now, are you thinking about this for wheel trade as well?
No, the options aren't right on that.
Okay.
I'm just watching for a bigger dead cat bounce. The thing is, it's below its key support. It's base from yesterday, which was like 254. And this can, if you look left here, it can set up a third leg measured bearish measured move. So be careful with stuff like that. But it's a low float stock. If it gets any bullish volume, I'm looking for a possibility of retracing $4.00. That's what I'm looking for in that one if it gets the right momentum.
Speaking of retracement.
Exactly.
Speaking of retracement, what do we got going on over here?
ASTS just completed a nice little double bottom. It's testing R1 for support now. And if it gets loose here, the target on that thing short term is $7.86. It's a quick little 20-second jump.
Well, descending channel, and we get a hammer on that descending channel, which gives us, right now, it looks like a 1-minute morning star. We'll keep an eye on that. I like descending channels. I like descending channels that end like this, because they tend to give us a little bullish push. I like ascending channels that have a morning star because I get a little bearish push. But we have to wait for this candle to print, and then we'll know a little bit better, possibly by the second candle. So it's a patience waiting game. What's the word on patience, Sensei?
Patience is a virtue.
Well, you're well. Somebody always is quoting Warren Buffett.
The way the market works, the market is a tool that's designed to transfer wealth from the hands of the impatient into the hands of the patient.
That is it. So patience is a virtue, and patience is what's needed in trading the stock market. No rushing in. A slow, sure hand is better. And then you can get a fast, sure hand after you've been slow for a little while. All right, so PEGY is just meh. That's it. Newton here. Hey, Newt. Oh, never mind. That's Herc. Hey, Herc. Hey, Herc. We are grinding slow, folks. Let's see if we can find something that's moving.
Just watching that butterfly on Amazon.
Oh, yeah. I haven't even looked at that again yet since this morning before it opened.
What's really cool is if implied volatility falls off of that, this position would benefit greatly when volatility falls off. You got to remember, you got two short puts in there that are getting eaten by time decay, or two short calls and then being eaten by
Scared
time
me.
decay.
You scared me.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, your Newton's kicking up. TS looks like it's trying to come back up a little bit. It's trying to cross above its moving averages. Let's give that one a little look right quick. See, we had that morning star, then we got another hammer there. So let's see if this is just a bear flag or if this is going to be a push. Boom.
One on the 1 minute chart after the R1 test was looking like 785.
And you're on
Extensions.
ASTS.
Yeah, 790 and 804 are possible for extensions.
Did you tell the put on that? Because I actually didn't get to execute it when I
Holy cow, look at that.
Mine didn't fill either, but I'm looking for other options. Looking for the opportunity of maybe just running debit spreads on this thing out of money.
Really?
This has a possibility because I can always roll those as well. And where the price is in the next time
Did you see how I went to go get the top of this control bar? And when I went to go get it, I had already gotten it because that's the VWAP. And so when I hit the top of that control bar, it was the same thing. Anyhow, that's why I like the VWAP things. Not too shabby. We teach you the VWAP.
50% retracement on NWTN is already done. Let's see what it does after.
At 768.
Trend or dive right from here.
All right, let's go get NWTN back over here since still that guy looks like garbage. There, little pop there. All right, you see that little morning star didn't kind of, we'll have to see. This, what candle is it? Yeah, this is our 5-minute candle. So we want to, SOPA popping up out of that demand zone, by the way. Watching several things this morning.
A lot of stuff is moving. This is going to be some active trading here. I mean, markets generally are setting up to be bullish.
There's SOPA.
We never, in a bear market, we never trust a whole, bull rally in this situation because if you look at SPY, it tells a tale of repeat bull rallies getting sold short the instant they hit resistance. If you're looking at SPY and you want to draw an angular resistance on it, pull up the daily chart, start looking left. I'll tell you where to look here in a second.
I got to move the drawings. Oh, that ain't going to do it. All right, now we're on the daily chart on SPY.
Got the line from the high on January 3rd, line it angular down across the peaks that occurred March 30th, August 17th. Run that line extended past today's date. You can kind of see that.
That 479 right there?
Right.
Make sure I get this right. Let me get my stuff over here, make sure it's right.
Angular resistance would set up. See here, 2 hour chart.
Yeah, I have a line already drawn. It's coming up to the 200 right there.
Right.
All right, so you say draw it from the top of this line?
Down here on your daily chart.
From January 3rd.
Go back to the full screen here. Yeah, just draw an angular line down across all 3 of those peaks there.
Oh, yeah. You see how it lines up. Bam.
And if you remember, we were calling out 415 as being pivot.
Look at,
So if it rallies and continues in this rally, 415 is the critical resistance. It's right there against angular resistance as well.
wow. Okay.
So that could be a bull target for this week, sure. But afterwards, that's where you get skeptical.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's gotta
Every
gotta make it up to after that.
every major rally in the bear market is subject to sell off.
There we are. That's yesterday's. See what happens here. We're getting a little push right now. All right. Cool.
Just a simple analysis from the daily chart just to kind of keep an eye on.
I love it. See, I use these TOS. I have this script support and resistance, and it draws a lot of these lines for me. And a lot of times you have to verify those indicators because they don't always line up right. Well, this one seems to do very well. Also gives me pivots, and again, like Devin always is, saying, and I'm saying it a lot. It's training wheels.
That's it.
And so I want to go back to this hammer on a descending wedge that we had right here, a descending channel, even though we're coming into a pinch right here. And let me get my drawings back on. What do I have today set as? Oh, wait a minute. See, I got so many drawings, Jeremy. I've got to clean this up. Even my 5-minute clean. But here's what I was looking for. It's close to a pivot. That's what I was looking for. It's close to a pivot, close to a price. I wonder if I have full nasty on this one. Sometimes I wonder. I do wonder sometimes if I have full nasty. No, I don't. But anyhow, we came down to this little channel right here, and we got to this hammer. And I wanted to see what happened with this hammer. Wanted to see this candle print because it looked like a morning star. Then we got this bear surprise right here. But you notice it comes down about the base of that hammer top, right? And then gives us another push when we have this little, it's kind of like a piercing pattern. I call that an elephant foot sometimes. But then it gives that little push. So this was your signal if you were looking to go bullish at the end of a descending channel. Bam. Wait for it. And that's what I like to do. I like to wait for a little confirmation. Got to be patient. That's 5, 6, 7 minutes right there. And then boom, to go. So, and it could potentially give us some more bullish signals here soon. We made about actually more than a 50% retracement of that morning run. And, Jeremy is a preacher of the 50% retracement, and I am a disciple of the 50% retracement because it is so important. And the idea that I have, my strategy is to capture a measured move, and a 50% retracement is a measured move. And if I can catch half of that measured move, if I see that measured move and I can catch just half of it, and I can go in strong, then I can take a good percentage profit on that. And so that's why, especially when you apply leverage. Like he said, like the man said, when you apply leverage, you know what I mean? Hey, listen to the man, would you? Hey, mister. SOPA, not doing a thing. We were at ASAT. We were looking at, who else we had on Penny Stock Watch? I had Peggy. SOPA's just like at this point. See, this is what I call ticky tack. It's just kind of grinding. Your ASTS for stock purposes is just slow, but if you're looking at it for your spreads, like you're talking about, that's pretty cool. Another push. We're off. Bands are opening here. This 40-40 was a previous support and then resistance. Now we see if we can break that. We've got that 40-51 pivot up on this way over here. And we can see if we can still be bulls for a while. Jeremy, I'm sorry if I was grumpy yesterday. I was half asleep. I hope I wasn't grumpy. I hope I wasn't grumping anybody. I don't want to be grumpy at anybody. I don't want to grump anybody out. I don't want to grump. I don't want to do that. All right, now we could be coming to a double top here. I have to see what happens with Mr. SPY here. This 402.16.
Looking for the next dead cat. Oh, I'm too late. I was looking at POWW. That's a retracement dead cat bounce. Already done with. Or if you want to study one, it's
POWW. Pow. There's your 50% retracement right there.
It's a company that actually manufactures it,
Well, that makes sense.
of course.
Man, look at that 50% retracement. See, this is why I like these hammer candles. That was a pivot. Bam. If you could have caught just half of it, you'd have got a good 10-cent scalp.
They got their price target cut in half by Roth Capital.
All right.
$6 to $3.
I get a little cautious when I see dojis like this.
I see all these analysts cutting their price targets. I'm suspicious of their activities. I should say that.
Right.
And it is optionable.
All right, now let's see if it holds this 401.78. We could push up to that 402 again.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning to you. Good morning to you.
Hey, Jeremy, on ASTS, what kind of debit spread are you looking to put on? I'm just trying to like understand what you're looking at.
I'm trying to even find what's worth looking at. Everything's like $5 wide for value, but then you're gonna end up spending way more than you want, and chance of profit on
Well, check you out. And you. And you. And you is on the move.
Is that new core?
New holdings? I'm not sure. And you holdings? Let's see if I get a large in it.
Course NUE,
Yeah, it's not new
Oh,
core.
okay.
which is a good stock to trade by.
All right, look at that. Okay, coming back to VWAP. Below VWAP, you know, stocks tend to be a little bit bearish sometimes. VWAP's a great place for them to come back to, pop, retest, or it hits it and it can't go any further. So you're getting a little pop right there on NU. We're hammering right now. We had a hammer into that 401.78. This 1, 2, 3 is actually a small descending channel.
Nice channel.
And that's what it is. It's a very small. Channels don't have to be huge. This little regression tool helps me out. So that gave us a little signal there again. Those hammers, when they descend like that, and it hammered on what I have. This is a VWAP, a previous VWAP, hammered right into it. So if it holds, and this candle holds its act together here for the next 50 seconds, we could see it push again, like I said, up to that 402.16. And it has SPY has a lot of room to go, but we're watching it. Where is my thingamajiggy?
Debit spread is really worth trading on that.
There it is. There it is. And I have some levels there as well we're looking at. I do have so much chart nasty that I mark up my charts differently. So that's not looking like that descending channel is going to hold together at all. Now, if you're following us here and you hear me say things, don't just jump into a trade because you hear me say something. Please learn it. Learn it. That's what we're here to teach you. Because I may be thinking out loud. And I might say something like, this looks like it's going to do this. And I can tell you, I've done that before when I first started in Bullish Bears.
Yeah,
I heard a guy say something one time and I jumped in and I got smacked hard.
one of those things. It's just been
As soon as I jumped in, he said, "No, I don't think it's going to do that." I went, "Oh, no." What are you doing? All right, so coming back. We didn't like that area. I got concerned earlier. Remember I said I'm always concerned when I see at the top of a trend. You know, this is a small trend right here. When I start seeing these dojis, that concerns me because you know it's saying I'm getting weak here. I'm getting weak. So we had that pullback, then we had this hammer, and it didn't mean a thing because it ain't got that swing. Do up, do up, do up, do up, and so it boom, we pulled back on us. Now this could just be a little consolidation, but that's some weird looking chart right there. I haven't seen that. What is this? The vulture? And you continuing to move up. It's got some volume, 135,000, 152 in this candle here. We can go find some more levels on NU.
Kind of a,
Hey, Jeremy, ASTS maybe hitting the point where we can get back in and actually sell the option if you want.
It's going back down. Let's go back to ASTS. There you go. Coming back down. What we have here,
I'm just looking at the bid-ask spread is really wide on those options.
we want to see this guy break these
Yeah, I'm not a fan
levels.
of that 10-cent spread there.
Yeah, it's huge. So it's like I wonder how fast those will fade. I
Ooh,
mean, you can collect the premium on them quick like that too, though.
10-cent spread.
I don't know if I'd continue wheel trading that for very long because when you go to resell to get back into the options short position, you're going to find it's going to be hard to sell it or anything worthwhile.
Wow. And a morning star it looks like on the SPY on the 5-minute. I mean evening star.
What's with that big candle in the pre-market? Is there some news?
PPI, produce, product, whatever it is, producer, product information, something like that. Yeah, and it was bad news, and it took off.
Funny.
All right, so we're on the 5-minute chart. We're getting a looks like that was an evening star. Go back to the one.
God, too much over here.
All right, so NU, which showed us a little movement today, was a gap up. Not much in the pre-market that I liked the way it looked, really. However, got a little double bottom, if you want to call this, or a triple bottom right here. Actually, would be more like a triple bottom that formed right at the open. You can find some more levels on this guy, but it's got to break. It's got to break this over here. Price ladders, real simple. When you get a descending wedge, just walk right back up. These bars right there, I don't get the wick so much as I get the bar. And that is how you get a price ladder. Had the same thing we had down over here with SPY, similar. Descending channel, hammer, push up, go sideways for a second, give us an opportunity to test this this open, also to test that pivot that the open was on, and then it gave us another hammer, red hammer. Then it gave us another red hammer on that pivot and got that little look. This would have been a good entry right here, and you could have gotten 493. You could have taken it up for a good 10-cent scalp. Again, 10 cents doesn't sound like a lot. It's $10 on 100 shares. It's It's $100 on 1,000 shares. If you have a big account, penny stock account, $20,000 or so, even 10,000, you can build that sucker up pretty quick with scalps like that.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's amazing how fast that happens.
Yeah, cash account. Cash account that you just have to let your cash settle overnight, and it works really good like that. So, but this is the level it really needs to break because it starts getting up here in all these wicks. This guy right here. Let me change mine. Had that set for VWAP.
I missed the bullish metric move on the BBIG
Ah, a little double bottom look on ASAT on that pivot. Everything is grindy right now. This is some grindy
Yeah,
stuff.
the premiums are falling off really hard on ASTS, so I think that because of the fact that it's the day after earnings that you're getting the IB crush now.
I mean, like I said, you can wheel trade that for like one session essentially. You know, go and sell, take a long position, sell some options on it. You got to figure out if you're going to make it worth a while, how much premium you're going to get in a day. Continue it after IB crush, it's like going to be really hard to sell those options just because you can look today and see there's like a 10-15 cent wide bid ask spread on each of those contracts. It's like, yeah, you're going to be struggling to sell those days.
Yeah. Notice we have lower highs here on SPY.
We're starting to set up. There's a harmonic here. Hold on a second.
This is right there. Ba-ba-da-da. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. I'm a little more awake, but still delirious from yesterday.
Yesterday was challenging day to trade.
Yes, this one's turning out to be one so far too. Have you even scalped any of the MES yet?
Not today. I'm still waiting for my trade station.
Ah,
Look back to about close on the 10th.
of for who? SPY?
That's fine. Run a couple angles and see it. It's routing top into motion up from yesterday, today. You know, routing top to 10 look bearish until the last second. Support up and bounce.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you draw some angulars there, there's some negative coming. Draw your median line. Median line comes in about 398.90. Today would be the key support of the median line. Then look at the upper angular resistance there. If it sets up a measured move off of this, you can see like 460. If it remains bullish for it, see that. But it's got to hold that angular support.
This here, or this is resistance? It's got to hold this one.
Right. And actually, it reminds me that when I go underneath the entire trend,
Underneath that, like this. Yeah, my chart's too nasty.
I'll have to clear my chart to see.
Yeah, I got the wrong chart. That's the wrong chart. I got to get my SPY chart clean. Dang it. There we go. There we go. Close on the 10th. Run right across the top of that, right? And then I want to come from here to get my angular. And I want to close it right across that trend there like that.
That's the way. And the regression line goes up the center of that. The regression line is current support right now. Price action.
Okay, that's what you were talking about. Okay.
Yep.
Well, crap. I could have just done this. I could have just did my no. I need to draw them sometimes. And there it is. Pop. I get you. See, that's why Jeremy says that middle line is so important when you're drawing a channel.
Oftentimes it's set up a measure move equivalent from regression line to resistance line. And when it does set up for that, you get outside resistance break.
Very cool. So yeah, yep. And then Jeremy, you would just extend those to the right, all three of those, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. That's why you have chart nasty. Okay, let's see. 15 minutes. The market started. And we opened with a, you know what? I see something here.
ASTS sitting on pretty support. Fine.
I see. I see that double bottom. Okay, I just noticed that on the 5-minute chart, or actually on the 15, our first 15-minute candle is this red doji right here. Upside down. And we are now below that 15-minute opening range currently, right at the bottom of it. So what that means for me is I'm going to watch this to see if this is going to push up. Maybe we get a Wu-Tang here. Or if we're going to continue to go down, is there any other news coming out today? There's very little from what I understand. You got a four-week bill announcement coming out at 11 a.m. So unless there's some Fed speakers speaking somewhere that my Market Watch isn't giving me, then we've probably got some, could be a sideways days.
API crude oil stock change.
Ah,
The yellow frame on it, but that's at 16:30.
okay. Yeah, that's not till afterwards.
So come up with panel. Yeah. Just looking at the 15-minute charts right now. Yesterday's high.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is looking actually kind of bullish. I mean, bearish to me right now at the moment. Because it's breaking below that 15-minute opening range. We're below it now. On a 5-minute chart, where's my chart? Daily 5. Let's go here. I'll show you what I mean. Here's our 15-minute opening range. We're below it. See that? VWAP's here. We are above VWAP, and we're hammering right now on the VWAP and the 200. So let's see if it gets us a bounce here. That's a hammer. It's a green hammer. Breaks below that body, then we're going to be bears for a little while. Wouldn't you?
Support right
Yeah. Yeah. There's a pivot here. This is my not so marked up chart. It's funny, these guys look a little alike right now. Just a little bit. New is giving you some options or opportunities today, but it is right now just kind of that little run right there into the descending channel. That would have been really good. Hitting that 200 on SPY on the 1 minute as well. Let's go look at the 5. I do like the 5 and the 1. For Discord and for YouTube, for you folks out here, this is a 4-screen grid I use for streaming. I actually use different grids when I'm doing my personal trading. I don't always trade when I stream because I am just not that coordinated. I don't like to sing and play guitar at the same time either, by the way, just so you know.
I can't sing it.
I just prefer to play. All right, let's see what happens here.
Big, sorry, period.
All right, so we got a higher low. So let's see if this guy is going to hold this support right there and push on back up. I was looking at that earlier. It showed up in DWAC. DWAC. What'd they do? Flush yet? They ain't flushed yet. They ain't gave an offering yet.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they're doing that right now while as I'm looking at it.
HUDI 5-minute looking starting at that second low ends up being higher than the first low.
Yeah, it gave us a long signal, by the way, over here. All right, we got a long signal for short-term scalp.
I've been spotting those all over.
Dude, that's the way you do it.
Your eye just naturally picks them up.
That's why you practice that one thing 1,000 times first before you go to the next one. And we come up to VWAP, you always a little cautious of a big pushback because, of resistance. So,
It's price action. That's that 1K. Like,
yep. Here's your NU again. Now it's climbing to the 505. See how slow that was? See how wicky that is? That's penny stocks can be a challenge to trade, but if you use some of the very same principles I'm talking about over here, coming in at the end of a descending channel, and that's what you have to use for these guys. You could have, gotten in there a couple times. If you had some ways to read these, like we do here with our indicators, you could have seen that dip right there with that hammer into all those levels and a previous VWAP at the same time. That would have given you a clue that this was going to pop back up. When we have, all right, this is sideways right here. That's a penny stock. It's the ASTS that we're looking at, and we're going to continue to push there. We might get that Wu-Tang on this one, Jeremy.
which one? SATX?
No, SPY. See it?
Oh, yeah. See it. Yeah.
ASTS, what I was saying was, if you look at it, and I raise up these indicators a little bit right here. TOS lets me.
Why? SATX came up. It's right in it. Oh, it's in controls.
There it is. There's another spike. And sometimes when you see those spikes after it goes sideways, it'll give a little push up. But, that might not be a big push. You have to judge that for yourself. But that's how you look for those pushes. I didn't have any levels marked out on here. Got it kind of quick. I did mark levels out here, and you can see how that works. You can see where it's pushing out. You can see how over here on SPY, using the averages and the moving indicators that we have over here, these moving averages and VWAP, that it reacts with those things. This is a busy intersection right here, and we have the 20 coming down below the 8. That's given us a signal. We're having a little bit of a stop, a little bit of a pause right here. I love what SIG says. SIG says these lines are not supposed to be fine point. They're supposed to be like a crayon. So if I max it up a little bit bigger, and make it look a little thicker, it's right there in it. So those are, but that's a I don't want to say a critical spot, but that's a volume profile ledge. And once they grab a hold of these ledges, if they don't reject it, then I like to see them go up and hit that next ledge, which is at 40210, which it's already hit once today. And we'll see. I want to see this. If this is going to continue bullish, I want to see it break that 40210. Otherwise, if it peaks up right here and then kind of comes back down, then that's just a big descending channel. but this would be,
Yes, just touching that 8 period.
there it is on the 5. This is, you call this R1 or you call this R1, Jeremy, on double bottoms?
I'm scanning around the ones I know.
Oh, no, no, take your time. Hurry up.
Yeah, okay.
SPY. Is this for R1? If this was a double bottom, this would be, it would be this one up here, right? Or would it be this first red candle? 1 minute chart right here.
R1 would be 402.
Okay. All right, and you. This is one of those things with penny stocks. Again, we talk about patience. I don't have any levels up above this guy right now, but it broke its pre-market high, came back down, did its little thing. I pulled these levels up by all these price lines right here, just by looking left after it made that descent, and I just popped, up, and then we went up, and it walked them up. I just popped on these control bars, not on the wicks, just on the opens, pretty much of them, and you see it followed it right up. And that's a simple way to get price targets when you're trading any stock, really, not just penny stocks.
I copied that.
You did.
I tried to chart it up to sort of like capture what you were saying before about the steps.
Right.
Yeah, it's what I got in at the decent place as well.
So did you get some of that?
Yeah, I'm in it now, waiting for it to go up, and it's profitable, you know.
Oh, well, good for you. That's what I want to hear. We like hearing that stuff. Alrighty then. Yeah. I have to let some coffee go. I'll be right back.
Up to about 1.5 short term. But the 5 minute shows exactly that nice little double bottom it's just about to reach. Keep an eye on that one. Chart looks ugly as hell as for Nvidia though. Always looking at different time frames. The 5 minute looks pretty bullish, nice little double bottom, but it's got to curl back off of that 8 period on the 5 minute chart. Break R1, which is about 169.70. Well, good morning. Kind of rolling along, scoping through all the big caps we can see. There's a few things moving up with the right momentum until they hit key resistance, like AFRM here. Saw 1783 was the peak after that little cup and handle breakout. If you look at the 15 and 30-minute chart and zoom out a couple days back, you'll see where it's just got that rapid bottom. You might have to expand your range to see it. That is also a third leg up. If you look at the opening on the 10th, you'll see where it's got that bullish measured move. It's already happened on the 11th, and today we're setting up for a third leg. Resistance on that is 18 bucks. If we can get through 18 bucks, we've got some levels to the left. If you look back at the 11.2, the second, you'll see if we accumulate here at about 17.75 to 18 bucks, there's a gap up possible to about 18.70. And if it gets continuation above that, you got 18.75, 19.20, and all the way on up to $20 for extensions on AFRM there. Hopefully Law is able to sell some covered calls and covered puts on that one. Rolling through this, probably the $16 puts would be paying really well by today. What else we looking at? ASTS is kind of hanging around just under that 8 period on a 5-minute chart. If it wants to complete this double bottom, it's got to start closing range on that candle from 10 after 10. That needs to break above 768. Let's see here. MNTD. Yeah, look at that thing. Not my cup of tea. I'm kind of scanning around on other people's data streams, and I'm looking at Money.net has a great one where it pops up all the news up to the minute.
All right, sorry about that, folks. I had to do some maintenance while I was gone. So I see what you're doing. Since you're not doing the futures, you're looking at debit spreads everywhere, aren't you?
I am looking at everything. Debit spreads, wheel trades, anything. Segment for trading options. Definitely.
You could have been scalping some this morning too. Right. All right, excellent. So we had some movement, good movement, and I'm gonna have JOMO. I'm just gonna have JOMO. So the joy of missing out. That's good for law. All right, so NU, boy, look at that. NU hit that 514 level. ASTS still doing its little thing right there. Let's take it off the 5-minute. Let's. Oh.
Good opportunity to take advantage of.
Implied volatility crush. Now that's something I have to still take and learn.
Around 2 to 140 spread. And basically just let that run out for the day. If you sold like a 0-day, or for instance, if that was available,
On Walmart? Walmart?
Yep.
What's its ticker? WAL?
WMT.
Oh, never mind. WMT.
42. Friday duration.
I just captured a 15 cents on noon.
Well, that is freaking awesome. 15 cents is good.
I made up for the 9 cents loss. I made it, yeah.
Ah.
And I was like, oh, I've got to trade something.
Well, we were just talking about having not to feel like you have to trade all the time.
Right.
Oh, I knew I was going to be like that.
I know. Well, you know, when you're first starting out, you're doing penny stock stuff like you're doing. That's what you do. That's a good job. Back to that lower level again.
Better than like a 4-to-1 or 1-to-4 ratio on Walmart credit spreads, unless you go to like. Let's see here. Yeah, you could like sell the 147, buy the 146, but I don't like that. Never mind. Too late.
All right, all right, all right. I see it. Yeah, that's pretty widespread, isn't it?
Yeah, just you basically
Like 24.
sell that for a credit to open it, and then close it by the middle of the day. It's a
Oh,
little risky selling that close to money on the normal so sometimes the opportunity would have been better if you caught that at the open, where it came down and pulled back to like 144. You could have sold like a 142, 141 spread, pretty decent amount of change there, and then just rode the momentum till now and probably closed that for next to nothing. And you could even use the 18th expiration. Let's see if I can do the math on that. What that would have looked like.
okay.
See, like on the 143 put, the daily high and low is massive swing. The high for that option at that low price this morning was $1.34.
The 143.
Yep, the 143 put.
Right.
This Friday.
Right. The 3 days out.
You would have
There you go.
sold that to open and
There it is.
bought the 142 to hedge it, and the high-low shift on that would have been pretty amazing.
Isn't that neat that you can sit there and you can look and see how much that thing cost earlier this morning?
Yeah,
I like that. I like that a lot.
the credit you could have got on that would have been about 52 cents in a dollar wide is pretty damn good. And then right now, that same spread you could have bought back at like 6 cents. That would have been a nice implied volatility scalp. Or essentially, you're just selling the implied volatility decay, and then you buy it back in the middle of the day for like pennies. At the time, that 142 had a bigger swing with higher time decay on that. Let's see what it will be. Wow, the 142 actually had a higher high low. That one got to $1.78 per contract, whereas the 143 only got to $1.44. So you could actually rotate that down and sold the 142 and bought the 141. That would have been even better. Credit spreads are a neat thing.
Diamond top looking on that NU.
You would have captured about $64 on a dollar wide spread and then bought it back at 4 cents.
Wow.
Sometimes you get those pre-market earnings announcements like that, and you can really just scalp that open real quick.
Now, how'd you
Spreads a little.
study earnings? That's something you studied, you read,
So
questions you asked?
earnings is if you're holding, let's say your earnings announcement comes after hours. If you're holding a long position going into after hours on earnings, you're foolish because the next day implied volatility crush is going to ruin any chance of profit you ever had in the beginning. So you should have sold that before the earnings and profited there. But on the contrary, if you have sold options to open credit spreads, if you were to sell an iron condor going into earnings to collect the maximum amount of profit possible, or if you could have gotten into a long strangle a week or so before with enough time on it to expiration, and then leading up to earnings, leg into selling the short legs outside of that, turn it into a positive delta iron condor, and just ride it through earnings, and then the next day close that position for maximum profit. That's kind of a really neat strategy to do, but you've got to be mindful of what your expected range is going into earnings. You have to figure out where people are trying to chase this thing.
Right.
A little tricky on earnings when it's announced after hours. However, when you get a pre-market earnings announcement, it's sort of similar to selling a 0 day on SPX. You get high volatility in the first 15, 20 minutes of the market. You go and you sell your credit spreads out of the money, and then towards the middle of the day, you buy them to close them, and you walk away and laugh all the way to the bank because you've sold those credit spreads when implied volatility was through the roof, still coming down a little bit, but through the roof. And by the middle of the day, the implied volatility was so low on those things. Those at the money options at the money on that pullback in the open become worth just pennies compared to what you sold them for. You can do the same thing with the wheel trade too. If you're long enough shares, you can go and sell that cash cover put out of the money right on that dip, and then when price goes up to, like right now, Walmart's at like 149. It might hit 150 today. You could go and sell that 152 expiration or 152 Friday expiration contract on the call side, and you could make a freaking killing on premium with the wheel trade strategy just on a pre-market earnings like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, earnings announcements when you're wheel trading, man, that's like it's like payday.
And then
Even if the stock goes down, you can still sell your covered calls, reduce your cost basis and the overall position. So,
SPY has I'm looking at SPY. I'm looking at the angular resistance.
it's starting to compress here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We will get a break sooner or later here.
One way or the other.
Let me see what the news is bringing me here.
You see,
PGY.
PEGY is going. I was going to show you something.
Just I know some people actually shorted that spike and just slaughtered it. They're closing their positions now though, so it's looking like they put a volume push on that thing. You might get another bounce out of it. It's good to know when shorts are about to cover. And anytime you get like a run up on a penny stock like that, those who are brave enough to short a penny stock will just sell it short right at the top of that ladder. And right now, if you look at PEGY on a 5-minute chart, and even a 3-minute, 1-minute chart, you can see a descending channel down from that peak. It's broadening the base, so descending megaphone, we know what happens with those. They tend to break bullish and at least do a 50% retracement. So you look at a price target of about 345, 346 for retracement on that thing. But the reason why is because shorts will start to cover at the base of that channel. And when they do, it brings in a lot of buying pressure. And all of a sudden, you got a bunch of retail chasing that because they see, buying volume coming in. So it's like you got to think and realize what others are seeing in those market conditions, why they are doing what they're doing. Then you can kind of figure out. Vastly know the fact that those little descending channels look break bullish and retrace 50%. That's exactly why. It's mostly shorts covering and
That's why that happens in the penny stocks.
yeah. So what we'll do is we'll set up our angulars on PEGY, winding that channel. I'll wind it on 5 minutes, a little cleaner to see. And then I'll watch it on 1 minute. And essentially when I see it break that angular resistance, which is currently with price in respect is at 329.
You talking about the angular from the morning?
Yep. That high down. And of course, don't forget your center line. That's that regression channel.
No.
That sets up key support. So if this thing's gonna bounce off, it'll bounce off that center channel.
See, there's your center channel right there.
We're looking at about $1.13 to $1.14 for support running in the regression line.
You mean 314?
Yeah, sorry, 314. When you start to see that bounce occur there, when you start to see some accumulation, you bounce out of resistance, you'll see very quickly what happens next. And then also be mindful of the 1 minute 200 period, right there, the price of dancing.
Right there, right now.
320 level.
This guy, I would not chase him. NU. Don't too high at the moment.
I don't chase NU, even though I've got price targets all the way to 550.
Yeah, I had some price targets on that too. Let's
Is
see.
that already a part of this move?
No.
Stay away.
Yeah, I went up to 525.27 on it.
ASTS just coming across the 8 period now. Careful with that one. It may just watch that double.
Little flush there on SPY.
Oh, might need to get a 10 with the fire.
The fire. Talk about relaxed trading.
Heck yeah. I'll be right back.
And the dollar is breaking its pivot, so we're going to keep an eye on it. Alrighty then. And it's a 0-day too. I forgot all about that. 0-day for SPY. We haven't had a first Tuesday. What's today? Tuesday. First Tuesday. It's a 0-day. That's since I've been trading. Well, we're below VWAP now. SPY, our 20 is crossing over is crossed over, so I'm going to see. It's going to continue to break down. Yep, looks like it. Right back down to that pivot right there. And 983. SPY starting to break down. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking it was going to do that by looking at the 15-minute
range candle
opening range.
one this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Base that candle stops right at 399.50.
Yeah, there it is right there. That's also a volume profile, 399.50. Just so you know. See, we're below that opening 15-minute range. See, it's down here.
Yeah.
That candle at the open could have been our indicator we were going to go down at some point.
Right. Just covering the gap.
Mm-hmm.
NU actually might push.
It's pushing now. It's just about to break its. Dang it!
ASTS is flattening out though. It's starting to break down. Bearish. What else we got?
There it is. It broke that 514 level. Mm-hmm. Let's see what we get here on Mr. SPY there. Let's check them all out. Yeah. Don't forget your 15 minutes, your 30 minutes. What's your 15-minute here on SPY? And we have there. Dum. It's your 30-minute. It's looking like a tweezer top at the moment. Well, not so much. I was looking at this is where I get screwed up, Jeremy. When I'm tracking IWM and it's the Russell's moving differently than the SPY, I have to remember.
Right.
I have to remember that the tweezer top on the 30-minute on the IWM. Still, that's a lot of sideways motion here, movement for a 30-minute chart. See that? Not that there aren't trades inside there, but that's not what we want to see. And it's breaking the 518, 523, going next on NU.
Yeah, we haven't retraced 5-minute rising channel with a wick.
The wick.
It's 1, 2, 3 legs from the base. 186.73 low on the open. Got leg 1, leg 2, and leg 3 on the channel. Just retraced almost 50%. Now we come back up 50% of the second channel at the top. So target there for bear bulls is 188.95. And from there, we'll wait for the signal. So there's no trade here yet.
No trade here yet. I like that.
We missed the trades from the morning.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
Tracement break over right now. We're waiting for the signal.
Yeah, that's all right. We missed them.
And you is trash.
IWM smooth though when it comes to options directionally. It is
Great trading style.
it is a little bit smoother when you're trading. Like I said, just trading the single contract options or contract options directionally.
Best trading ETFs out there, really. It's a SPY.
Well, yeah, it doesn't. The drawback is not as fast, and the decay is not as fast. So you can get in there, and you can, you might sit in there for a few minutes, but you generally can get a decent little trade out of it. Coming in at the that hammer there, hammer time. And on the 5-minute IWM hammered. Let's put him up over here for a second.
And you looking to reach about 524 first target.
That's that 20. I got 523 as a pivot, previous pivot. It could be 24. There's IWM on this chart here.
PEGY might push above the 23 here on a 1-minute chart.
So when you're looking at your charts, how you have your Webull charts, and then what do you have, like a 16 grid, a 10 grid, or is it scanners that you're seeing all this through? Just curious.
I throw a 4 grid up, but I'm looking over the data on a couple of things. Kind of watching the money.net side just to see what's being popping up on their scanners, so to speak.
Ah, bottom of a channel here.
And here's a weird one for you.
There it is.
Kind of goes against what I'm looking at for the chart. Like, viewed most bearish. This is sentiment from like Chatter. On Amazon, they're viewing it as bearish. I don't know about that. That seems a little odd to me. Same with Nvidia and Apple. A couple other large caps in there.
All right, so let's see. Now, let me ask you a question. This look here on SPY, it's interesting. It's almost like it just did a wolf wave thing where it went down below on the 5th. But that wouldn't be 135 there, would it?
Boy,
No. And we're still below, like on the MES, it's below the 15-minute opening range. So is SPY below its 15-minute opening range. See that right there.
Like spy charts. Like,
Yeah. I have to clean up some of this stuff, and that's just, just one of those things you got to do. All right, I think I'm going to say goodbye to our YouTube folks. Glad you've been with us. We've been streaming with you for a little while. We want you to come visit us here at Bullish Bears. We want you to click like. I want you to subscribe. We want you to hit that bell. We teach a lot more, and you're getting some good options teaching today from Jeremy. And we have a great coach in Sig, and we've got some excellent videos to get you started in our library, our training library. Lucian's put together some awesome videos, and then the stuff we do, our replays are available for our members. And also hit that 524 like you said.
Yep.
I did it. 527 is the next control bar I have. And we teach a lot, and so we want you to learn how to take profit. But the main thing we teach you how to do is how to fish, how to do this yourself. I am a product of Bullish Bears. I learned everything I know here at Bullish Bears listening to the moderators, and we want to invite you guys to do that as well, so you can learn how to take control of your own financial life. We don't give financial advice, but we do teach you how to trade, and that's the best thing. Yep, that's the best thing to do. All right, everybody, have a great day. We'll catch you again tomorrow morning here on YouTube.
You guys.
And done.